Yo, it's your boy Kenji, and I got another movie review for you. This is on Turning Red. This is a 2022 Disney Pixar animated film, and I want to say the movie was okay. It was okie dokie. It wasn't great. It wasn't all that. I heard a lot of people. I heard a couple of movie reviewers, or what they call it. I forgot. But some guy viewed the movie and he wasn't all that into it. He was like, it's okay, but it has its problems. And a lot of people on Twitter just came at him and just they took down his review or whoever he worked for. And I think he was a critic. Yeah, they call him a critic. And a lot of people on Twitter was calling him racist, sexist, and all this. I'm thinking like, God damn, man, you can't disagree with a movie that you what you. But let's get into it, man. And I do agree with it. This movie is geared to girls. When I first saw the trailer reacts, I said this movie is gonna be geared to girls. And even though that was the case, and it is the case, I still wanted to watch this movie because it's an animated film done by Pixar. It didn't dissuade me, but I wouldn't take my son to go see this. You know what I'm saying? We'll be like, shit. I'll take my daughter. Maybe the son could come, but if I just had a son, I'd be like, nah, we ain't going to that. But if we had a son and a daughter, we'd be like, all right, let's go. I ain't about to. We all going. But let's get into this movie, man. Like I said, it's an okay movie. It has its problems, and I will get to the problems near the end. I want to tell you about. We're gonna talk about this plot. So spoiler. Now, May, 13 years old, more like she's growing up. She's starting to like boys. She likes this boy band group called Four Town. Now she hides that from her mother because her mother is overprotective and strict, like most Asian parents. Because this is a Chinese Canadian family. And what is that about, man? How come all these movies that come like focus on Chinese cultural films that's made in America, how come they always be like Chinese Canadian? That's do all the Chinese people go to Canada? I don't see a lot of Chinese. That's what I'm saying. Every now and then I might see a Vietnamese person, but I don't see them a lot. But when I do see them, I be like, "You from Canada?" And they be like, "Nah, I'm from China." I be like, "Okay, okay." I don't know what that's about. They do it a lot, bro. It's either the Chinese person gonna be from Canada, or are they gonna be they either gonna be from Toronto or they gonna be from San Francisco. It's just what it is. But that's besides the point. Like I said, she they try to make Ming's mother the main villain of this film. I really thought there was gonna be another villain. Like maybe she's going against another girl who is like she got a cousin who's a red panda, but she's like evil. Not the fact that her mother is overprotective and wants to see the best for her. That's why you see a lot of Chinese family, a lot of Chinese people doing very great because of the strictness of their mothers and their fathers. And the father is non-existent. He doesn't really enter this movie a lot, which lets me know this movie is geared more to girls. And then eventually she does turn into a red panda. And her mother then tells her, no, mother finds out and tells her that every woman in their family turns into a red panda. Boom. It's geared to women. So anybody who's saying that, saying, no, this movie's not geared to women. Yes, it is. Because if a movie did this with boys, where it literally intentionally took out all the women, right? And even made like some of the women into villains, you would say this movie is geared to boys, right? You can't say that. You can't really even say that with a lot of the lead roles of men in their movies because it's always a damsel in distress, a girl where he has to save her. So it's like, and they don't like that. I don't like being saved by no man. It's like, okay, I get it. You, you don't need no man. You independent. Independent. Do you know what that means? You independent. So she goes through that, right? Now her mother and the females in their family is gonna try to do a ritual on the red moon. They call it the red moon day, where they give her a talisman and it's gonna stop her from transforming into a red panda. Now she still has to go to school and all this, but you know she's very emotional, and you can see she partially turns into a panda and all this, and eventually people start to like that. They like her wild side, right? People are accepting that, even though every time she does that, she's over emotionally. You know, stuff can happen, right? And she has a plan with her friends to go to that boy band's show, right? Called Four Town. And her mother doesn't want her to do that because they're about to do the ritual on that day, and we need you to be here, right? And guess what she does? She leaves, escapes, and goes to that boy band, and she accidentally breaks her mother's talisman that keeps her from turning into a red panda. It makes her mother angry, and she gets, you know, she goes female on her. So she goes to the boy band group, boy band show, and they have a little fight, a little scuffle, and then they make up afterwards, and they go back, and she accepts her she accepts that she's a little bit overprotective and all that stuff, and that's pretty much the movie. They wrap it up where it's like, okay, we're gonna have a balance. You can go see your friends, and then you come home, clean the temple because they have a little temple at their home, and do your chores, and then you go see your friends. All right, a little balance. So she's not being as strict. But what I'm going to tell you is this: what makes this movie not that good, and I tell you this, every movie needs this, bro. Especially if you want to go with this slice of life thing. You need there has to be a lesson learned. There has to be a lesson learned. There has to be a challenge, something that you overcome. A lot of times that is the villain. Now, tell me, as I explain this, plot to you, what did May overcome? What did she overcome? Because she was doing the same thing she was doing in the beginning of the movie, like she's doing it in. Because she was already hiding the fact that she was just this outgoing girl, uh, big mouth, say what she want. I say what I want. And that shit gets annoying. In the first 20 minutes of the movie, you're like, oh my God, I just want to. Look, she had a boy bully. And I'm going to tell you like this is very true. And a lot of times when girls are they say whatever they want, there's going to be a little boy, right, who has that same type of attitude, where he's like, I say what I want. And you're going to bump heads with him, and he's going to bully you. Because you're going to be like, I say what I want. And you're going to try to get in his face instead of saying, you know what, that's a boy. He's stronger than me. You know what, I'm going to let it go. Because it happened to me when I was a little kid. You got these girls that just, and at first you like, you don't want to hit them, but they hitting you. And you like, I don't hit girls. And then you go home and your mom say, you better smack that bitch. And then you be like, my mama told me to smack your ass. Mama knows right? Mama knows better. So at the end of the movie, they repair the Sky Dome, which is the place where the boy bands were having their show. And like I said, May balances her temple duties with spending time with her friends and everything like this. But like I said, who learns? This May didn't learn anything. There was no lesson for her to be learned. She was always wild like that. All right? The only thing is she was fighting against her mother. That's it. She's doing the same thing she was before turning into a red panda. Now she has that red panda power, and now doing the same thing. Guess who learned something? It was her mother that learned something, not the star of the show. First time I ever seen this where there's a star. Well, we could go with Rise of Skywalker. Rey didn't learn anything except that she was a Palpatine. But it's the first time I seen where a villain was the one to change, right? Like she was the person that, because Ming, her mother was seen as the villain. Who else was the villain in this movie? I named everybody. Well, I didn't name everybody, but her friends, her father. That's pretty much. You could say the little boy that was bullying her, but he got smacked down. He wasn't really the main issue. The main issue was her mother, and the mother had to change. Think about that. No, it ain't the kid that has to change. It's the mother, the grown ass adult that had to change. Now, if you are a parent that don't play about raising their kids, you're gonna watch this with your child and you're gonna be like, I don't like this. I don't like this. Especially if you are a good parent and you're watching this, you're like, this movie really is teaching you that your kids can really do whatever they want. They get to choose their lives. And it's like, what life? 13, motherfucker. You need to listen to me. So I didn't like that, y'all. There was issues with this movie. There's nothing to learn from the main character. Doesn't learn anything. She has no life lessons that she learns. Even though this was a good animated film, it didn't land. You could say the first 20 minutes was good. He was like, oh, you learn who this girl is, and then when she, you got the parents, but you were still waiting for like, where's the challenge? Where's the issue? It was her mother, and the person who had to change and learn something was her mother. So if you watching this with your kids, guess what this movie teaching you as a parent? You need to stop being so strict with your kids, all right? You shouldn't want the best for your kids. You need to let them decide what they want for themselves. This girl's 13 old. 13 years old. She don't know what the hell going on in the world. So that was my problem, my issue. It was a plot problem. A plot problem. Everything else was good. Animation looked good. Voice acting was good. Had some nice music in there. Everything else was good. It was just the plot. It's always the plot with these movies. And I'm telling you, it's an agenda. This movie basically telling Chinese mothers, you shouldn't be telling your kids what to do. I'm telling you, when the Chinese people see this, I'm telling you, this is the reason why China is not allowing these basically Disney Chinese themed movies to come to China, because a Chinese person, because everybody else is gonna just, if I say this and anybody from any other race or a boy says this, you're gonna be like, are you sexist, you racist? But when a Chinese mother watches this and she sees this, and she's gonna be like, especially if she's from China, she's gonna be like, no, turn this off. No, you are a little girl. You're not about to tell me what to do. I didn't met some Asian mothers. They don't play. They don't play that shit, bro. They like, you about to go get your doctorship. You're going to be a lawyer, a fine lawyer in Canada, Toronto. So yeah, man. And don't get me wrong, I did enjoy this movie. But what I'm going to tell you is there were problems. You're not going to remember this movie in a couple of years. It's not going to be a Turning Red 2. What else they going to show you about that movie? Huh? Think about it. What else they going to show you with Turning Red 2? They going to have a villain now? Maybe the cousin come out and be like, I'm a red panda too. Nah, man. This movie ain't having no part two. And if they make a part two, it's just gonna be money thrown down the drain. So that's how I feel about this. Pixar hasn't made a good movie in a while. It's like there has to be something the character learns, so that character could grow out of it. You know, you want to bring your kids to a movie that teaches them something, right? Like I said, I had a son. When I do have a son, I'm letting him see Lion King. I'm telling you, that movie is gonna teach him something. If I have a daughter, I'm not gonna let her watch this shit. I'm gonna let her go see, what's the movie? Mulan. I'm gonna let her go see Mulan, not the real version, the cartoon version. Or maybe I never seen Brave, but I heard it wasn't all that either. So just another girl going against her parents' will. So that's all I got to say about Turner Red, man. I expected more from this movie. I wanted something more than just my mama's overbearing and I'm turning into a red panda. And that's it. That's it for the story. Man, whatever, man. It's alright. It's okay. It's your boy Kenji. Subscribe, comment, like, share. Do all the thug dizzle. I'm out.